Hello everybody and welcome to this latest edition of the Money Man News. And today what we're going to be doing is talking about a new series of banknotes that has just been announced from the African nation of Angola. So let's have a look at the lowest denomination which has been announced, and that is the 200 Kwanzaa Note. And here it is. So you can see that I've taken this press release from the Banco Nacional de Angola's website, and I will put a link in the description so you can take a look at all the information I feature in this video for yourself. So do look out for that. Now you might be thinking straight off the bat, well, what's happened to the 5, the 10 or the 50, those lower denominations that are currently in circulation in Angola? Well, the honest truth is, we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen to those lower denominations. They could become redundant. They could be replaced with coins. We just don't know yet, but this is the lowest denomination that has been confirmed in the recent press release from the Banco Nacional de Angola. So this is the 200 Kwanzaa banknote, and this is going to be part of a series of banknotes which is going to be introduced for general circulation. However, it's also going to be considered as a commemorative series as well, because these banknotes are going to be celebrating the 45th year the 45th anniversary of Angola's independence from Portugal, its former colonial master. So this is a really interesting series. So if you're the kind of person that likes to pick up commemorative banknotes exclusively, this could also be a series for you. If you just like currently circulating currencies, when these release, these will be there'll be very nice banknotes for you to collect as well. So because it's celebrating that 45th year of independence, on the front of all of these new banknotes, you will see this gentleman here. Now, this gentleman is called Agostinho Neto, and he was the first president of independent Angola. So he is featured on the obverse of all the banknotes that you will see in this new series. And the reverse of the banknotes features areas of natural beauty from across Angola. So you've got that representation of the beauty of the countryside that you can find in Angola. And these are not just random places, these are named places that have been specifically chosen to be represented on the reverse of the banknotes. Now, when I first looked at these, I thought, oh, these are going to be polymer. However, looking at the features that are represented here, you can see that they seem to be reflective surfaces and not clear windows. Now, I thought these two images here were of clear windows, but it seems that's not the case. So I think that these are probably going to be hybrid banknotes as opposed to just polymer. So that's quite interesting, but we'll see what happens. Unfortunately, I cannot read Portuguese, and the press release is only in Portuguese, as that is the the official language of Angola. So if anybody can read and confirm whether this is going to be a polymer or a hybrid, that would be really great. Please let us know down in the comment section. So this is the lowest denomination. Let's move on to the next one, which is the 500 Kwanzaa Note. And you can see a lot of the design elements are the same as the 200, but you've got different changes, subtle changes to the patterns that run through the obverse and reverse of the banknote. You can see that they've used this sort of image of this tribesman sat down thinking with the different denomination, and we've got a different reflective color represented that matches the color scheme of the banknote. It's very, very nice. And you can see the sort of pattern shape that has the denomination represented has also changed, as has the color. So that's an interesting little theme that you will see going through the different denominations of these banknotes. And also to mention that you can see the coat of arms of Angola represented on the reverse of the banknote, which is kind of unusual because you usually see that kind of imagery on the obverse of banknotes, but you can see it popping through there just a little bit where the signatures are. So that's kind of an interesting little design feature right there. So yeah, you can get a really good idea. Even though we can't read what's going on in the press release, you get a good idea from the images represented. So let's have a look at the next denomination, which is the 1000 Kwanzaa Note. And I really love the color scheme of this. I think it looks really, really nice. So you can see once again we've got for our special little image on the right side of the banknote. It looks like some kind of flute or something. I don't know what's going on there. I could be completely wrong. But you can see we've got this wonderful sort of like turquoise color, and the blue, which is different and interesting. And I love that contrast of having like red and green. And you'll see that contrast pop up in another banknote that I'll show you a little bit later on. But it's a really really nice banknote, and I love this sort of sort of peak popping out right here. Very, very beautiful reverse of the banknote. So really, really nice. So the next denomination we have is the 200 Kwanzaa banknote, and here it is. And again, you can see that sort of contrast between the red and the green. But here we've got more of a violet color as well, but the red, if you know what I mean. Very, very, very nice. So I really like the attention to detail on these banknotes. And something that's very common in banknotes today, particularly African banknotes. So these sort of like geometric patterns and shapes, diamond shapes, cross shapes, squares that move through the banknotes to create the a sense of a sort of tribal pattern that moves through them. It's a very common feature that you see these days in African banknotes, and I really like it. It just makes them a little bit more interesting to look at. And you can see in this one we've got some microtext as well. That's quite interesting. Hopefully we can analyze that a little bit more when I have actual versions of these banknotes in my hands. So the highest denomination that we have confirmed so far is the 5,000 Kwanzaa note, which I have right here. And you can see there are some interesting differences on this banknote. No longer do we have that sort of sitting man as depicted before, but now he's actually a watermark with the denomination sat to the left of him. So a little bit of a difference there. And you can see we've got the addition of this wonderful security strip right here. And then we've got this sort of a square or rectangular shape, which looks like it's got some kind of tribal face on. And I think that you'll probably be able to feel the indentation of that face if you run your thumb along it. So I think there's a little bit more sophisticated security feature because this is the highest denomination. Now, will this always be the highest denomination? Well, possibly not. On the National Bank of Angola's official website, they do state that they do have a 10,000 Kwanzaa banknote that may come in the future if it is needed. So if the value of the currency does inflate, they will introduce that banknote sometime in the future. However, as of now, it is not due for imminent release. So what makes me think, from that press release, it makes me think that they already have a design. However, that design has not been made public, but I could be wrong. But they do say, if needs be, they will introduce a higher denomination of 10,000 Kwanzaa sometime in the near future. But as of now, 5,000 is the highest denomination, so I'll have to wait and see. But it's a really beautiful banknote, and again, I think this whole series looks really, really impressive. So what is the timescale for the release of these banknotes? Well, let's have a look. So the first denomination, the lowest, the 200, is coming very, very soon. It's coming on the 30th of July 2020. However, this is going to be a staggered release. So the next denomination, the 500 Kwanzaa banknote, is going to come in September of 2020. We do not have a confirmed date yet. So we have to wait and see, if it's at the start or the end of September or mid-September. We just don't know. Then after that is going to come the 1,000 Kwanzaa banknote, and that's going to be in October of 2020. Again, there is a certain degree of flexibility about these dates, because depending on what happens with the virus, which we cannot talk about, but have to talk about because it's messing everything up, we don't know how the virus is going to affect the situation of this banknote release. So we'll just have to wait and see. There may be some flexibility. You got to think about the Northern Irish banknotes. There's been a huge delay on the new £20 notes, which are coming really soon. But you've got to think, that there have been examples of delays to banknote releases because of the situation. So the next two denominations, the 2000, well, when are they coming? Well, 2000 is coming in November of 2020, And then the final denomination, the 5,000, is coming in January of 2021. So we'll have to wait and see how well they can stick to those dates. Now, where are these banknotes being produced? Well, they're being produced in by 3 different companies actually, situated in the US, Germany, and Russia. So that's quite interesting. So we'll have to see how that affects supply as well. I'm wondering if different companies are handling different denominations. That would be really, really interesting. So slightly unusual there. So that is everything that I have for you today. So let me know what you think about these banknotes. I think they are absolutely gorgeous. I cannot wait to get hold of them. I'm a little bit, frustrated by the staggered release because it just makes it harder to get hold of full sets and then send them on to other collectors. However, it's very common these days that staggered releases happen, so I do understand, particularly in these uncertain times. That is one frustration, but I do get it. So let me know what you think about these banknotes down in the comment section. I would love to know what you think about these, and will you be getting hold of them? Do you collect African banknotes? So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. It really, really helps me out. I love to keep those views coming in, and it gives me a good idea of what kind of content you guys do enjoy or do not enjoy, and it allows me to change what I do based on your opinions and feedback. You can also find me on Facebook, link down in the description. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys on the next Money Man video. Thank you so much. Bye bye.